Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving and had a great day with your loved ones. In today's video, we're going to cover my IRA portfolio performance for today, Friday, November 27th, and see how it looks. But beforehand, the purpose of my video is to share with viewers that I started my account at about 44 years of age when I started learning about the investment world in the stock market, not knowing anything about the stock market, didn't know what a traditional IRA was or a Roth IRA was or how the stock market works. So in a year time frame, it leads me to get more knowledge and understanding of what the stock market does. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you some of the YouTube channel that I found and some of the books that has helped me to increase my knowledge and how I was able to start my portfolio from the ground up at the age of 45 to take over my family's IRA portfolio. And we're going to get a bird's eye view throughout our journey together so that you can see how it is performing. I'm aiming to share my portfolio on a weekly basis, but if you guys wanted to do on a daily basis, we'll do a quick 2-3 minutes videos each day so that we can see what the performance looks like. But in today's video, let's go into the portfolio and see how it is performing today. So if you guys saw my first video, I used Yahoo Finance to summarize mine and my wife portfolio. It allows me to get a brief summary glimpse of how my performance of my family IRA is doing. Because we're going to go over throughout our videos journey together using Yahoo Finance a lot, let's just go over with some of the tabs if you're not familiar with it so that we are kind of familiar and be on the same page as we progress with this channel. So this here just shows the total balance of my and my wife account since I took over about 3 years ago. She has a different brokerage that I use for hers, and I have a different brokerage that I use for myself. So instead of logging into each one individually, Yahoo Finance allows me to get a bird's eye view of the summary. And right here it just tells you the day's gain and the total gain I have since I have built the position of everything that you see listed here. And so the tab that I use mostly is the My Holdings tab. And down here just shares with you all the holdings that I have built up over the years. About 3.5 to close to 4 years. And so, the left column here just shows the symbol. And the symbol next, the tab next to it shows you the daily changes and percentage and also the dollar amount that the unrealized loss that I have for today's date. And this is just that here is the amount of shares that I have for that particular holding, and this here shows the average cost basis that I purchased for this particular ETF and the market share, how much it is worth right now. And also this is the total gain that I have throughout my holding for this particular portfolio holder. And if you hit the arrow button here, it just shows you the tab. It shows you the date and that I purchased these particular shares and the amount that I purchased it at. And Yahoo calculates the number of shares and calculate the total cost to give you a cost basis of what I purchased for that particular ETF. Okay. Right here, this is just a memo for me to let me know that hey, this holding here is under my wife's portfolio. So let's find one of my holdings. This is to show you how I differentiate mine and my wife's portfolio. I think I hold a small cap down here somewhere. Oh, it's right here. So this is a Vanguard small cap, and then again, this just shows you the date that I purchased these shares, the amount of the shares at that particular purchase. And of course it gives you Yahoo Finance will calculate the cost basis for the overall share cost for, in this case, the small cap. And this is showing you that today's gain, I gained about 1.2%, and this is the total gain for the day. And right next to it just shows you the overall gain that I have since I've been holding this particular ETF. And over here, as you can see, this is my portfolio. And sometimes I forget I have a traditional and a Roth, so it also makes sense if I If I remember, I would put it under a traditional Roth, but just overall, this is just letting you know this is my my particular holdings in my portfolio. And so the other thing that I use too is the fundamental tab. And just to give you a heads up, I am a dividend investor, and we'll go over with why I choose that in future videos. But the reason why I use this Yahoo Finance tab on the fundamental is to share. Just look at Apple, for example, since we can see the dividend date. So this allows me to just a reminder that I'm getting paid on this date for the holdings of Apple that I have. And we'll go over with what the ex-dividend date is, dividend shares, and all the other thing here in future videos. And I'll share with you some of the sites that I use. This is this is the site that a lot of investors look at to get an idea of how a particular company is paying a dividend. And not to fast forward to this, but just to give you a view of what we will be talking about too, as what site that I use to get information for my stock investing or ETF investing. So I hope this kind of summarizes what we will be covering a lot when we are looking at the Yahoo Finance, just to kind of familiar ourselves with what we will be covering in this channel and going forward. And so if you're not familiar with Yahoo Finance, I would definitely recommend that you kind of get an idea of how that works, because I can share with you, I use this to practice on how to get into investment, and I'll share with you what I mean by that in future videos. And so let's just go over with how did I learn? How did I learn to take over my wife's portfolio? And how did I learn about the stock market? So the first channel that I found to learn about the stock market is Richard Coffin's The Plain Bagel. And this is probably the first YouTube algorithm when I was tabbing in to learn about the investing world. YouTube recommended me to The Plain Bagel, and I'm glad that it did. And so in this channel here, I definitely recommend you to look at episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 12. Okay, it's a little episode course that Richard goes over with why is it important to invest, and what is an ETF, what is a stock, what is a bond. And so you get an idea of all those terminology that allows you to get a better understanding of why you are investing in a certain way. If that makes sense. But I definitely recommend you to check out everything else in this video. But to start off, I watched episode 1 to episode 12 to get an idea about the investing world. And he has a good list of videos to share with you even further. And until today, I still watch his videos to get more knowledge as well. So I definitely recommend you guys to check out this channel, The Plain Bagel. And I will give a link, leave a link to his channel in the bottom on my comment under the video, so that you can click on this link and learn what I learned from getting the knowledge from Richard. Hopefully that will help you in your journey too as well. So the next channel I would recommend you is Jazz Wealth, and he is Dustin Tibbett. This is probably the best channel by far that I learned about the investment world. And Dustin is a financial advisor, and his business is called Jazz Wealth Management. He's based in Florida, but he does service other clients from other states that he's registered in. And so the reason why I like this channel is he covers from the ground up, very basic stuff to the more advanced stuff. So if you are not familiar with investing, this is probably one of the channels that will help you a lot. If you are mediocre, this channel will help you a lot. And if you are advanced in investment, then I definitely recommend you to watch this channel as well. So I have followed Dustin since 4 years ago, when I was 44 years old. And until this day, I have not missed a single one of his videos. He has a few video playlists. One is called a FinTip, and those video clips are to teach clients and also viewers about the importance of keep taking control of your finance. And he has a market update videos that he shows live every day at 4 o'clock in my time zone. I live in the central, so it comes on at 4, and he keeps me up to date with the stock market and how is it performing and why it is performing the way that it is. And so I can't say enough about this channel. It has tremendously increased my knowledge in investing. So, and the other reason why I follow Jack Wealth Manager channel from Dustin is he has every week FinTips video, and then these 2 or 3 videos that he put out each week, it's basically covering anything that touches your dough and how it affects your finance. So he ties those together and let you know how it affects your finance as well. So it's very important that you understand where your money is and how it's affecting your dough to be a better investor. And the other one is the other reason is the closing beat. So it's a market update that he puts out every day after the markets close. I think mine comes in at 4 o'clock because I live in Central Time. And in that particular playlist, it's just letting you know what's going on with the market. So as I drive home, I normally catch up with the market updates just by watching the closing beat in his channel. I can't say enough about Dustin. He is a fantastic YouTube creator. He is by far the best financial advisor that I follow. And the good thing about him is he not only does he advise you on investment, but he also advises you on your financials. So anything that touches your dough, he's there to guide you. And his content is free. And then also, if you are a customer of his, he has classes every Thursday for his client, and so he gives them more in-depth information in those classes, which I am not a client of his, so I don't know exactly what he covers, but I'm sure that things that only his client base can know. So I definitely recommend this guy to you. His name again is Dustin Tibbet, and until this day, which is fast forward about 4 years, I still follow his channel every day, and I'm still learning from what he shares on YouTube. And after I understand a little bit about the investing world, I discover a fund manager by the name of Peter Lynch. Now, every investor that is out there know who Peter Lynch is, and I read about two of his book, which is the One Up on Wall Street and Learn to Earn, and this changed me tremendously in how I look at the stock market, and that not to just to look at the price, but to look at the business itself. And Peter Lynch is actually the one that I follow to get into the individual stock analysis. So I don't know how that sounds so weird, because about 4 years ago I didn't know anything about the stock market, and now I'm analyzing a individual business, learning about income sheet, balance sheet. I mean, I cannot believe how far I got just by dedicating my time and learning about the investing world. So I definitely recommend you to look into his books. His name is Peter Lynch again, and the 2 books that I read so far from him is One Up on Wall Street and Learn to Earn. And so he has audiobook too as well. So I purchased a few audiobooks on these so that if I don't have time at home playing with the kids and stuff, as I drive home, I listen to these too as well. So the book that I'm currently reading right now is called The Intelligent Investor. The author of this book is Benjamin Graham. He is the teacher of the great Warren Buffett, and his philosophy in this book is about value investing and how to develop long-term strategy in the stock market. I don't advise for beginners to start with this book because it's more for active investor, meaning if you want to create, if you want to analyze a particular company, finding out what the value is to enter in a position for that particular company. So this is not a book that I would recommend for a novice investor. I'm reading it and I have to read each chapter because some of the chapter is really difficult for me to understand. So if you want to read this book, just know that you have to have some knowledge about how to analyze a business before entering and reading this book. So the reason why I share my journey into the investing world is to let you guys know that it does take a lot of work. You're not going to learn this overnight. So the step that I share with you today may not be the step that you follow, but I definitely recommend you to learn the basic first. Like for example, the plain bagel, learning out what is a stock and what is a PE ratio, what is a bond, what is a market mutual fund, what is an ETF. So that just gives you the basic foundation of your understanding of all the terminology in the stock market. And again, you don't have to follow the same step that I did, but this channel here that I talk about throughout the video, I definitely recommend you to follow. Just to give you an example, Dustin Tibbet, I am still following his channel ever since I discovered his channel 4 years ago. So I follow his channel every day. So that just tells you I'm still learning my way through the market as well. And some of the books again, Peter Lynch, Intelligent Investor, as you progress. So sharing this with you just to let you know that hey, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of work, but the payout that you see here is very invaluable. And this is not showing mine and my wife 401k. So I have taken what I learned and going into our 401k and manage it ourselves. So I hope this video finds you and your family well, as always. And I want to share this video with you just to let you know that, hey, if I can start at 44 and not knowing anything about the stock market and creating a portfolio from scratch up, and 4 years later looking at the gains, I mean, I can't tell you enough of how important it is for you to be in control of your finance. So there's no one out there that can take care of your money better than you can. So I hope these videos and my channel kind of encourage you to do just that. Just keep in mind, when I first started, I didn't know anything about the stock market at all. And fast forward 4 years now, I'm still amazed and I'm still learning every day about the stock market and how to analyze a business. So I just want to say, if I can do it, guys, with no knowledge at all in the stock market, you can definitely do it as well. So I want to thank you for sticking to the end of my videos. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe below. Leave a comment. Let your audience know if you are a investor that just started, what kind of question do you have, and hopefully I can answer those for you. Or if you know the answer, leave a comment below to share your knowledge of the investing world. But for now, thank you so much again. Please subscribe and hit that like button for me to pass this word to other people. And I wish you guys have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.